Yo guys, what's going on? This is Yoki Man here and welcome back to another episode of Bringing Back Bolton. We finished the season, guys. We finished the season, so we're going to do all the end of season stuff, all the end of season awards. We're going to go through what happened. It was dramatic. We may or may not have won a trophy, so I'm looking forward to getting into this. And we're going to start off with Bolton's end of season awards. And as you can see, fans player of the season, my signing, of course, Mr. Ryan Edmondson. Honestly, he had an amazing season. When we go through the squad, it's just basically going to be a shrine to Ryan Edmondson. He was unbelievable. If you haven't used him, I don't know what he's like at championship level, but at this level, League One, unbelievable. Cheat code. He's a beast. He's been fantastic. I really enjoyed using him. He also got goal of the season. And Ronan Darcy got young player of the season, which he definitely deserves. He's been fantastic as well. Harry's been decent, Luke Murphy. The team just generally has been fairly good. I'm a little bit nervous about rebuilding for the next season because without the points deduction, we've actually had an amazing season. So just taking a quick look at the review, this is actually quite sad. Our average attendance was only 14,780, which is okay for League One, but only 51% full. We only managed to fill the stadium 51% with the kind of slick, you know, nice, fancy football we were playing. 51% is really frustrating. But as you can see here, spoiler alert, we won a trophy. We won a trophy. Obviously, I was going to live comment, and then I thought, do you know what? The season hasn't even finished. It wouldn't make sense the way the episode would then be arranged. Just none of that would make no sense. So we didn't. We also used 33 players, which I imagine by a country mile is the highest amount of players used in Sky Bet League One. That's actually a lot of players. Right, guys, so since we last updated you, we played a lot. Of course we played a lot. We actually ended up playing through 3 months and a game. But I'm still debating whether we should just do it in 2 chunks of season. So do the first half of the season and the second half of the season. I'm going to work that out for season 2. Maybe we'll change it. I don't know. Leave your thoughts and opinions if you think it would be better if we just did all the way to January and then from January all the way to the end. And we didn't do one like at the start of the season or halfway through the season. I don't know. We could do this all kinds of different ways. But since the Bristol Rover game, we hit actually a little bit of a rocky patch, which was really frustrating. The Coventry, Doncaster, Wickham, NK Dons, we just kind of hit a rough run. But towards the end of the season, we really turned it around. I mean, we've played a mixture of formations as well. I've literally gone through all 3 formations several different times. We played different ways depending on opposition. I've kind of weighed it up. But we just hit good form towards the end, and it was kind of a shame, because when I show you the league table, it was devastating how the end of the season turned around. Let's put it this way. If this Gillingham result had been differently, maybe we could have been playing championship football next season, but unfortunately, we're not, which is an issue because, of course, the finances are still... Well, the finances are not good. They're not good. Yeah. Maybe we need to rob a bank, a really, really rich bank. We're currently spending 77,000. We're way over the wage budget. It was my fault. I did it. I thought we're going to give it a crack this season. We're going to really go for it. And we're going to push and we're going to try and get promoted. It didn't work out. It didn't happen, but I did try very hard. And to be honest with you, at the start of the save, I remember making comments like, I'm not sure we're going to survive relegation. And when you look at where we finished in the table and actually how well we did this season and how far the team's come, how good this squad is, it's got so many great young players. Like, the talent in this team is, we can stand to lose players and we're still going to be fine, I think. You know, as long as we keep the youth intact, we keep all those players, we keep them happy, I don't see any reason why, if we get a full crack without minus 12 points, we can't maybe go on a run and win the league next season. And to be honest with you, it's really important that we do win the league next season, because if we don't, this money situation, it's only going to get worse. And I'm really praying that somebody buys us, because now if we sell anyone, we're simply selling them to stop us from going bust, because we get 5% of the transfer revenue. So I'm not going to get to spend any of it. It might just clear a little bit of wage budget. I'm praying they sell it to some really, really rich Russian oligarch, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen at the moment. As you can see, the end run to the season was fantastic. I mean, a couple of difficult games. The Fleetwood game was frustrating. They're a decent side, though. But the 3-0 victory against Oxford and the 6-1 victory against Rotherham, who are a decent side in this league, they really are, just really showed our power. Going forward, sometimes when we're just hitting our stride, it's really nice to watch and it's very pleasant to play as well. Considering I'm playing on key highlights to try and get through the games, it was actually really enjoyable watching some of the matches and the way that the team played, especially some of the link-up play when we played well together. But that's how the season ended in terms of the fixtures. So let's look at the competitions. We need to look at the league table. The playoffs, we're going to continue and see who wins the playoffs before the end of the episode. As you can see here, the top goal scorer in the league was Ryan Edmondson. It's not a surprise to me whatsoever. Ryan was superb. I've covered it several times. I don't think I've come back on any update and thought, oh, I'm not too sure about Ryan. He's been amazing. 24 goals in the league this season. Darcy as well. Fantastic player. Average rating of 7.33, which is right up there with the top players in the league. He also has the second most assists in the league, joint second, but only 1 assist behind Walsh. It's just really been an amazing season for me, to be honest with you. If we look at the season preview, we should have been well relegated. 23rd position, we should have easily been relegated. That was probably the expectation of the team, but we went way above that. I think this is absolutely fantastic. We finish in 8th place, only 2 points behind the playoffs. If Ipswich and Peterborough hadn't done what they did on the last games of the season, we would have actually got playoff football, which is unbelievable to think where we've come from at the start of the season with the minus 12 points. To have got right up there with 69 points would have been, it's just fantastic. I think overall it's a great season. It's a shame that we didn't get playoffs. I think promotion season 1 probably would have been a step too far, but I wouldn't have complained. The championship's going to be really tough. Now we're going to take a quick look at the teams that are coming down from the championship, because they're probably going to be teams we need to really worry about challenging us next season unless they have slumps. So we've got Luton, Charlton and Derby. Okay, Derby's a little bit of a surprise. I didn't expect them to come down, and they've come down with a shocking season. 27 defeats, 14 draws, only 5 victories all season. So maybe they'll come down with really low self-esteem and they'll just be awful when they get down there. But yeah, Derby's going to be a tough task. So are Charlton and Luton, to be honest with you. Any team that gets relegated from the championship is always going to make life more difficult for us. But all that matters next season is that we can try and get top 2. The playoffs, I would rather avoid. My history with playoffs, it's not good. It's not a good history with playoffs. So hopefully I would like us to finish top 2. But I genuinely think, even though when I spoke to the squad and I said, I think we can avoid relegation, not even fight bravely, I think we can avoid, the entire squad went, are you joking? We're definitely getting relegated. So my ambitions of us actually getting top 2 may be way above what I should have, but I genuinely think we can do it. The team is good. The youngsters are good. If we get Ryan Edmondson needs to come back though. Leeds, if they get promoted, there's no way he plays for them in the Premiership. So I'm praying that they loan him back down to us. We really need him. Right, guys, so before we go over the squad and we check who wins the playoffs, it is time to talk tactics. 2 of the tactics were not downloaded, but carbon copied from 2 community members, Vass and Cameron. Both of them were actually very good, and both I'm definitely going to be building into again next season. We need to get a decent halfback. Ryan Tulloch actually came on, and he came on leaps and bounds. He was a great loan for us, very important that back end of the season. I'm really glad we managed to get them on loan. Both, though, I was extremely happy with and could recommend either of them. You need to build squads in order for them to work. Your players need to fit these positions or else it doesn't work well. In the tactic that we're looking at now that Vass gave us, the issue was the ball-winning midfielder. I didn't particularly have a fantastic ball-winning midfielder. We played Murphy there for most of the season, and he's not overly great in that position. He's not fantastic at tackling. To be honest with you, he's a better playmaker. So if we'd have had a real standout ball-winning midfielder, I think we'd have done a million times better. And the same goes for this tactic. if we'd have had someone who was way more familiar and better at playing at halfback, I feel like we'd have done better. But both formations really fit us quite well. I do like the wing backs in this formation, and I'm the type of player that prefers an advanced forward. But I didn't mind pressing forward. Edmondson still scored a lot of goals from pressing forward, winning the ball back and going clean through, actually, which was quite good. And the support of the inside forward seemed to work really well. And with using fullbacks, we didn't seem to, overextend ourselves down the wings. Also, we chucked in this formation, which is a variation of what we're using on stream. I changed a few things. I normally use Caraleo, but we just didn't have anyone good enough to play Caraleo. And to be honest with you, we was playing like that box to box, but this formation was so hit and miss. I'm not sure we're going to use it next season. You'd win a game, and then sometimes you'd lose a game. We swap between inverted wingers, and I don't know. I'm not sure how much I like it. We actually swap between much lower tempo and low tempo as well. We swap from pass into space to be more expressive on several occasions. I don't know. We tended to concede more when we played this formation, and be more solid when playing the other two. So maybe I'll drop that one out. If somebody else has a different formation they'd like us to try out, then maybe we could add that. Now, I'm also going to toy with the idea of Season 2 of being allowed to make tweaks and changes to these two tactics to fit my team. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not yet. I haven't fully decided. This is different to me. I'm not used to not using my own tactic, or at least not creating my own tactic. It's a little bit strange for me, but it was fun. It was fun nonetheless as a bit of an experiment, and to see what other people's creations did with this Bolton team. And I was pretty impressed, to be honest with you. I thought both tactics were very solid, and I definitely recommend them both. But this is the important bit. These three players here are the spine of this tactic, and if you don't have players that can really play well in those positions, it's a little bit of a struggle getting the tactic to work how you want it to work. I did find as well, though, once the team became way more familiar with the tactic, although they're not fully familiar with it, the marking is a bit of an issue. The marking in all three tactics is a bit of an issue. I imagine that's just down to the squad. But once we got familiar with it, the tactic worked very, very well. Both of them did, and I would recommend both of them. Right, guys, it is that time. It is time to go over the squad for the season. Now, I'm going to do my best, after seeing how well we did this season, to keep the gang together. I'm going to try and keep this squad together as much as possible and not lose too many players, because realistically, this team needs to stay the same. Needs to stay the same with minimal, barely any changes for us to stand any chance next season of going up and getting promotion. This is a very good team. I mean, if we look at the average rating overall, there's some really good. I mean, Ronan Darcy really was spectacular. Edmondson, Harry Brockbank was really good as well. He was fantastic. A superb centre-back. They're worth some money, though. That is the issue. Sonny Graham, though, the 17-year-old coming into the squad this season, actually had a superb season. I'm excited to see how he turns out, because he's got 18 determination. This guy is going to be fantastic, I think. At 17 years of age, he's pretty much an established first-team regular, and maybe more of a rotation or a squad player. But as some of the older players are going to go out this season as well in that central midfield position where he's playing. Murphy might not be here next season. There's players like Mellis who, to be honest with you, for the wage we're paying and maybe how much he played, maybe we'll get rid of him. There's quite a few players. Lowe will probably be going as well. Like, there's going to be even more game time for Sonny Graham as we go on. Politic had a pretty decent season as well. Adam Senior, when he came into the squad, he didn't play much, but he was a good promotion. Jordan Boone was fantastic. I'm really glad we promoted him. He's not usually... This is not my kind of left-back. I like a left-back that's really good going forward and crossing and dribbling. He's not amazing, but he just seemed to do well. He seemed to do really well. He was exciting. We do need a backup to him next season, which will probably be a loan. You know, Hamilton, we probably wouldn't bring back again. He was okay, but again, maybe stands in the way of some of the younger players. Delaney, the centre-back, maybe we might move on. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, with who we move on and who we keep. There's a lot of players that maybe we could let go and just promote youth, because there's still a lot of great youth like young players that didn't get that much. Jay Fitzmartin, to be fair to him, he doesn't have an amazing average rating, but this season, for me, it was just about getting him some game time. He's not improved massively, which is a little bit of a worry. He's definitely going to be a player that's on the periphery next season, but I still have faith that Jay can do something. At 16, he played a few games. He only scored 3 goals. Nowhere near the impact that the rest of the players have, but a lot of the time he did come on as a sub. And I do find if you come on as a sub, especially in a game where we're losing, and I'm bringing him on to try and make an impact, and he can't make an impact, they do tend to get a worse average rating. Ali Crawford, someone who we're paying £2,000 a week, who really, he won't be here next season. Marcus Arison, not a clue. Not good with the names. Marcus is someone who I would like to get more game time next season. I'm hoping that he can pull off the halfback role, and that's what position we'll play him in. And he could be Luke Murphy's like kind of trainee replacement, and hopefully ball winning as well. But his tackling and marking is not fantastic to play ball winning, so that's a little bit of an issue for me. I'd really prefer it to be better, but again, he's very determined, and these younger players getting the game time is so important to help their progression. So I'm finding that the more and more we use them, and the more and more we promote into this first team, the better we're going to be. Right, guys, the most key contributors to the team, and that's the goals, and it's, of course, it's Ryan Edmondson, 28 goals, 2 assists. Superb. The key is to get this man back on loan, without a doubt. I can't think of anybody else that we'd loan and pay £750 a week that would score that many goals and be such a big impact to the team. Ronan Darcy, again, with 10 goals, sometimes from a shadow striker position, sometimes in Mazzala. He did well, actually, from central midfield. 14 assists. Fantastic. Dennis Politic, again, 10 goals, 10 assists. A lot of players seem to chip in. Will Buckley, 6 goals, 12 assists. I mean, look at the assists. Luke Murphy, 6 goals, 12 assists. We had some good performers this season. It is spread out as well. There's quite a few. I mean, even look at Jordan Boone, got 4 assists as well. The assists, they've been really good, to be honest with you. I'm not used to seeing so many assists, like, spread out. Usually in the teams, there's maybe two players that contribute mainly to the assists. But in this one, we've got Darcy, Buckley, Murphy, Politic, even Boone, Emmanuel, Tulloch, who only came in for half a season, really. Ryan Tulloch did well with 14 games, 5 goals and 4 assists from the left-hand side. I thought it was pretty decent. I'm really excited to see what happens, honestly, guys. The potential in this team is just, I mean, I haven't seen this much potential before. I get some of these players are lone players, but the level of potential we have here, it really is something special. It really is something special. This team, I might not even need to add to this team. This team could be ready built and be a championship team because of the potential that we have in the squad. So I'm really excited to see how we continue doing moving forward. But it doesn't stop there, guys. There's more potential in the under-23s. As you can see here, there's some more players I've got my eye on in bringing into the first team. And it really is. It's magnificent how good these 3 players, well, these 4 players really, but 2 are goalkeepers. But maybe we sell our goalkeeper and we go with the youth. There really is a dynamic here. And the young players, I have to be honest with you, are probably going to be the key. Not so bad there. Not so good, sorry, there, are going to be the key to our success. They're going to be the key financially in making the club a lot of money. I'm not going to let any of these young players go without fees that I believe to be correct. I want big money from our youth, and we're going to keep re-signing them on contracts for as long as we can, and we're going to push them as far as we can in this team, and they're always going to get first team football. I'm going to prioritise playing the youth in this squad over the ageing players because they're the future of the club, and they're the only way that we get Bolton out of the mess that they found themselves in and into being a big team again, and hopefully a top-tier Premiership side again. Right, guys, it's time for the commercial summary. As you can see, I mean, it's all upwards. It's all looking good. Money's sorted. Don't worry about it. Financially, we're good going forward. Absolutely not. I mean, none of this really covers probably running costs at most, and certainly doesn't make us financially stable. We've got the new budgets, though. Let's have a look. Yeah. It's not great, is it? I mean, I expected 0 transfer budget, but that's less. That's less wage budget than they gave us season 1. Now, we don't pay the youth much money, but that's not good. And can you imagine if we get promoted and they give us that similar level of budget again, trying to be a championship side on 50k a week? This is going to be a problem for us, I think. What does that do for the finances? See, even with all the commercial summer and whatnot, we're still in the red. The wage budget now, we are minus 27,000. So basically what they're saying is get rid of all the high earners and have a smaller squad. Season 2 is going to be difficult, without a doubt. Right, guys, I just thought for a second I'd draw your attentions to this. I don't know if you guys care about what else is going on around the leagues. We don't quite have the League One final finished yet, but we do know that Reading got promoted to the Premiership as well, so the Sky Bet is done and dusted. But look at this. Manchester United, what an absolute mistake. Manchester City have done the quadruple. They've done the quadruple. They won the league, absolutely stormed the league on 94 points. Let's just have a look. I mean, this is ridiculous. So I'm assuming they won the Premier League, maybe the Community Shield, maybe the Carabao Cup as well. So they won the Community Shield. Did they win the Carabao Cup? They won the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. So they didn't actually win. I was wondering if they'd won the Champions League. Let's have a look at the Champions League. I don't think it should be played yet. No, it's still going on. But yeah, that's insane. So Man City did the quadruple. What an unbelievable season for Man City. Tottenham, Arsenal and Liverpool finished top 4. Liverpool didn't even finish second. This is season 1, remember, guys. Chelsea 5th, Man United 6th, Burnley 7th. The teams that are relegated is a bit surprising. Watford, maybe not so surprising, but Leicester got relegated. That's insane. Leicester are down. Shocked. I did not expect that. Torrid season for them by the looks of it. Right, guys, so we just got the email through to tell us about the contracts that are going to be up. And it's a little bit frustrating because a lot of these players were key. A lot of them are the experienced players of the team. I'm not sure I can re-sign any of them. And that's really frustrating for me. Because to be honest with you, I probably would keep Luke Murphy around. I would probably keep the core. Not Dodo. He wasn't very good. I would probably keep the core, you know, Ali Crawford. But they'd all have to take big pay cuts. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at them. The chances are these will all be released for the start of next season. Also, the playoff final has been played, and it is Rotherham. They beat Ipswich, so Rotherham will go up to the Championship. So happy days to Rotherham, a Yorkshire club. Not bad for them, back in the Championship, but Ipswich, really disappointing for them, surely. I mean, Ipswich, you'd expect they'd bounce straight back. Right, guys, that's going to be it for Season 1 of Bringing Back Bolton. We finished Season 1. I'm excited to see what Season 2 brings. I think we're going to be forced into a few decisions we probably don't really want to make, but that is going to be the scenario we find ourselves in. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you come back for Season 2. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new around here. Leave comments, leave feedback. I love it, guys. It's fantastic. I will see you in Season 2, where hopefully we can get Bolton back to the Championship and further. Take care, guys.